Hello everyone, so I'm here today to film a really quick update for my Pan That palette for 2018. This is my 4th update, even though this is the 6th month of panning this product, because I just kind of missed out on my May update, my 4th update. So this should be the 5th, but it's actually going to be the 4th. So this year I am panning the Tarte Energy Noir Clay palette. I'm planning on finishing the entire palette, including the blush inside, but before I show you my progress, I'll show you what it looked like in my last update back in April. And this is what my palette looks like now. So in my last update, my goals were to hit pan in this shade, this shade, this shade, and this shade, I do believe. So all those 4, and I did manage to do that over the 2-month periods in my last update. So now I have pan in every single shadow, but not in the blush. So in my last update, I was saying how I wasn't making that much progress, especially not in this blush. So I was going to use this palette exclusively for all of May. That is what I did. So this is the only palette I've really been using since my last update, and this is the progress that I've managed to make. I am quite happy with that progress. This pan here and this pan were really quite surprising, and I was really happy to hit pan in them. I've also made a lot of really good progress here in this shade. This is a highlighter and an eyeshadow. I have been using it a lot as a highlighter, but not every day, and I have been using this blush as my everyday blush. So the point that I am at the moment is I have used this palette almost exclusively as my only palette for eyeshadow, eyeliner, blush, and sometimes highlighter since the beginning of the year, since January, and this is the progress that I've made so far. So I'm not even close to finishing any of these shadows or hitting pan in my blush, so I am really disheartened at this point, and I'm really bored. I've been using these 2 shades as my eyebrow shades, which has been absolutely fine, but really out of all of these shadows, I have 2 shadows that I use as lid colors. Sometimes I'll use this as a lid color, but really I've just been focusing on these and using that as a highlight and as an inner corner highlight. So I can make like a handful of looks with this palette, but none of them are really all that different because so many of these shadows are matte. But it also means that because they're Tarte shadows, they're pressed so tightly, I make very little progress in them each month. So at this point, I'm really not feeling it, and I'm probably going to take all of June off from this palette. I'm not wearing any of this palette on my face today. I've decided to refocus on some of my Project 50 pan products that I haven't really been using that much this year because I've been focusing on this palette and prioritizing this palette. But I think I probably just bit off more than I could chew. I wasn't really considerate of the fact that these are Tarte shadows and that they're pressed really tightly. I didn't really think about how few looks I would be able to get out of this palette at the beginning of the year when I chose it. And at this point, I'm just really struggling with it. So I've already picked out the 2 palettes that I want to try and pan in 2019, and part of me just wants to get started on those right away, though I do still have eyeshadows that I want to finish in my Project 50 pan. So at the moment, I'm not going to throw in the dummy. I'm not going to just give up on any of the products that I have set my goals on for 2018, but I am really struggling and I am really bored. And while it would be incredibly satisfying to finish some shadows in this palette this year, I'm not going to finish this palette. I think the only shadows that I could feasibly finish would be this one here and the blush or the highlight shade here. I might be able to finish one of these 2, but it would only be one of them. I'd have to focus on just one. So I'm just feeling really disheartened, and while I'm really glad to have hit pan in every shadow, I'm wondering if I should just call it good for now and move on to some other shadows, try and hit pan in those or finish those up, and then come back to this at a later date. It feels a little bit like I'm giving up, but I'm so bored. I don't really know what to do about it. So there you go. That is my 4th update for my Pan That Palette, my June update. If you're panning a palette, please let me know how you're going down below as we reach the halfway mark for 2018. Let me know if you've ever panned a Tarte palette and how you went. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.